Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Project Multi. Now, a lot of people have been playing this game, and sadly, the beta is coming down to the final conclusion, which means that we're not probably not going to see this game till the end of this year, which is going to be after Spiking Zero and stuff like that. But I've had so much fun, and I thought, maybe I'd throw my hat in the ring and make a build for the game. And this build is called the Immortal Vegeta build, or Immortal Prince if you want to get all royalty on it. But, Vegeta is just such a good character. Doesn't do crazy amounts of damage unless you build him that way. But is that the way to build him? I do not think so. I have been in positions where I have been in 3v1s and survived and even killed two of the dudes trying to fight me. So this build, using the card system, if you guys have not unlocked the card system yet, you guys got to play a little bit longer and you'll unlock the card system. Hence why I didn't bring it up in my new player guide, because it's just the card system is a upgraded system after you get past the first rank of the game. It allows you to actually start using the card system, so do not be pressured by that. But we're going to talk about this. First, I'm going to talk about Vegeta's passives, his skills, why he deserves to actually use these certain cards, and why they're so good for him compared to other characters. And let's go ahead and explain that. So, first things first, we're just going to talk about his passive. I'm going to throw it on the screen so you guys can take a look. Now, his passive applies reduced cooldown to yourself when your life is at 50% or less. So, whenever your life is about half HP, which, if you guys do not know, that means like half HP. That means canisters included. If you have like the two canisters, as it shows in the picture, then you would have to lose one canister, then have below half HP. So it is kind of like all the way. So once that happens, you become a skill tossing, photon bombing, explosion wave spamming character that just is unstoppable. And that is exactly what we're going to benefit from. The other thing is Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan, we're going to go ahead and take advantage of too, because in this version of Super Saiyan, he does only gain, uh, you know, just straight up damage. So he's just one of those characters that doesn't gain a special passive benefit. Unlike other characters that transform and get better versions of their original passive, he just gets raw damage. So from that startup, once you get to level 7, you pretty much can start dominating the other team with no problem at all. Now, with Photon Bomb, we're just going to talk about this one just because of the fact that Photon Bomb is the only move you're going to be spamming the most, let alone your M1s. And you're just going to be like, playing in that regard. So there is a tactic to using Photon Bomb in a team comp situation, even in a solo situation, that you need to do. And that tactic is to make sure that whenever you throw a photon bomb, it's going to be shutting down your enemy, whether that be him trying to run away, him trying to use a move, anything like that. You want to throw it in front of them or on top of them if they're on a point. So you do need to make sure that photon bomb is being spammed. If you have photon bomb off cooldown, then you're wasting time, because come on, man, you got to be spamming that thing. And you do get that max at level 8, and that's going to be very, very useful. It's right after Super Saiyan, so you have nothing really to worry about after that, because then we're going to be focusing on using Big Bang Attack. Big Bang Attack is pretty much your main move for just straight up getting rid of the enemies. That's it. If you could just get rid of the enemies, uh, you can also get your toughness back up, which is going to allow you to actually get defensive perks back up, which keeps you in the fight for even longer. I use Big Bang Attack as a final move, not as something that I just spam off rip, because of the fact that it does bring your toughness back. Let's say that I'm using, um, Big Bang Attack, and then I got below 50 HP, 50%. I'm not going to get my cooldowns back up for this, so I'm just going to spam that instead. And then I'm going to use it to get some HP back up over that after using Photon Bomb. And I'm just going to go ahead and, keep refilling my HP or toughness refill, and that's going to gain more bonus damage reduction. Now let's talk about the cards. The cards that I'm going to be using for this build are going to be Bulk Up, I'll be flashing that on the screen as well. Bulk Up is a very important card. This card allows you to actually play defensive off rip as long as you are farming. Uh, well, it's called build up, not bulk up, but same deal. KOing every 2 KOs or assists on an enemy NPC. You have to be the guy who does the most damage, obviously. So if you are kind of using this card, kind of like just start farming those little cell juniors by yourself or demons, and just try to like do this by yourself. Because if you don't, then you have like a really good damage dealer next to you. You're not going to stack as much. It does go up to 20 times. So a 20 times defensive buildup right towards the end of the match makes you almost unkillable. And what also makes you unkillable is going to be what I'm going to be talking about next. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, Koi, like, what are you doing? Because that's way too much defense. That's so unnecessary to have that much defense towards the end of the match. What's the point? If you're just going to be using a different card like Steel Skin. And yes, Steel Skin is going to be the next card. And the reason why is if you have your toughness up, then you use Steel Skin, and you already have 20 stacks of buildup. The enemies cannot touch you. They cannot hurt you. And if they're using an all damage build, they can barely scratch you. The scaling on these different cards and equips are so high to the point where you really have nothing to worry about. This is already your end game build the second you get your card and your level 8 level up. And the reason I say that is because, the rest of it is really your choice. Some people like to go for Berserker. Some people like to go for defensive step, just for that little bit of extra toughness whenever you're against ultimates. But realistically speaking, if you want to be a team player, then Guardian Angel's your card. The reason why is because nearby allies take damage from the enemy hero. You nearby allies takes damage from enemy heroes, and you're pretty much going to be taking the damage for them. Uh, and that's kind of just bonus damage towards you, but you're going to be so tanky to the point where it's not going to matter, and your teammates are going to be able to get in there and go deep on the enemy without suffering, especially for those squishy ones like Android 18 and such. But if you do not feel that, if you really don't feel like that's kind of the build for you, then obviously Berserk is definitely the one to go for. Uh, but yeah, that pretty much concludes that segment. And the rest of this, I'll just let y'all finish off the gameplay. I'm not really going to talk y'all's ear off anymore. I think I've pretty much proven my point. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. Take it easy, dudes, and peace out.